Hi everyone. We're going to continue talking about the kingdom of God. And with that, our third installment. Did you know that you are longed for? God longs to have a relationship with you. That's what he wanted in the very beginning in the Garden of Eden. That's what he wants with every human being he's ever made, a relationship with them. That's what he wants with me. That's what he wants with you. And when we talk about the kingdom of God, that's at the core of it. God having a relationship. You see, once Adam and Eve blew it and got driven out of the kingdom, what we last talked about, they had to be removed from the Garden of Eden, removed from that perfect fellowship because of their disobedience. Remember, because of the sin and the shame. And God had to drive them out because he said, you can't taste the tree of life now because of your disobedience. Because if you eat the tree of life, you'll live forever in that sin and shame state. And God doesn't want that. And so from that moment till this moment, and every moment in between, God's desire has been to have a people that would be redeemed back to himself, at one with him in a perfect, harmonious kingdom. And that's been his goal. He did that by looking for Noah. Right after the Garden of Eden, he looked at Noah. He said, I found Noah. Noah's a man that's going to do what I say, and he's going to love me, and I'm going to love him. Yay. And Noah did. And there was a covenant, an agreement made with Noah. After that, he looked at Abraham, and he said to Abraham, he said, I know you will follow me. I know you will love me. I know you and your descendants. Matter of fact, Abraham, because you have so much faith, because you believe in me, Abraham, I'm going to abundantly bless your offspring. Matter of fact, Abraham, you're going to be called the father of faith. And we know he is. To this day, the father of the Jewish faith is Abraham. And in fact, the father of those who believe in Jesus Christ is Abraham as well. He is our father by faith. If we have faith, then Abraham's our father. So God longed to have that relationship with Noah. He longed to have that relationship with Abraham and all of the descendants following. He longed to have that relationship, that communion, that conversation with a loved one. With Moses, he made an agreement with Moses. I'm going to love you. I'm going to bless you. And the people of Israel are going to love me and be in relationship with me. And we get to Moses and we get to Exodus and Leviticus. And it's all about God wanting to just be the God of the Israelites. And the victories that he got and the victories of the kingdom of Israel and all of that. Well, that didn't turn out so hot. And they turned away from God and they blew it and they messed up. Just kind of like us. Okay, then God looks beyond and we get from Moses and we go to an Israelite nation that really is the kingdom of God, and yet they mess up. And so then beyond the Israelite nation and Moses, then there's Joshua. Joshua gets the all ready to take them into the promised land that God promises to give them. And they say, yes, we're going to love God, and we love God. And then they mess up. And we have the whole book of Judges, and it's just this weird cycle of, I love God, I serve God, and then I fall away and I do detestable, horrible, abominable sins. And then I ask for forgiveness, and then I fall away. And then and the whole cycle of the kingdom and God's longing for a people of Judges. The whole book of Judges is just about that awful cycle of, I want to serve God and be committed and love him, but then I can't and I don't. Because of that, remember that warfare, the hostility and the hatred. Till finally we get to a point in 1 Samuel. And the people of Israel say, in essence, they say, forget it. Forget God. And they say to Samuel, give us a king. We want to have a king just like everybody else. We don't want God as our king. And that verse in 1 Samuel 8 is maybe one of the saddest verses in the Bible. Samuel said to God, God, they want a king. Should I give them a king? And God told Samuel, it's not you that they've rejected. It's me. They have rejected me. So give them the king. And so in 1050 BC, Israel had their very first king. All along, God wanted it to be him. And the king that was set up was King Saul. And King Saul became the king, the very first king in Israel. The very first king. We read the rest of the Old Testament from Samuel through the Malachi, and all we read about is that same cycle we talked about. King loved God, served God, and then he turned away from God, and his son did horrible. And then and it just the whole warfare, the whole kingdom warfare between light and dark continued. And yet what never changed and also continued was the heart of God that said, all I want is people to love me. I want to be their king, not in a mean kind of, hoarding it over you and beating you over the head and serve me. Oh, no, I want to commune with them. I want to associate with them. I want to feel their pain. I want to know their pain. I want to help them. I want to strengthen them. I want to groom them. I want them to be my kingdom of priests. I want them to be my kingdom of priests. And so that takes us to me and you again. That's what God desires. He wants us to be his ministers, his kids, his servants. The kingdom of God is still at hand, and the kingdom of God is being built inside you. Go with God.